I've said this before and I will say it again, but most people do not know that your location is tied to your destiny. Let's talk about how incredibly important the power of positioning is in your life journey. A few years ago, I was traveling through Spain with my family. We had spent some time in Madrid and we were taking a train to Valencia. We got to the train station early. We found a perfect spot to hang out, to relax while we were waiting for the announcement that our train was boarding. Now, about 5 minutes before departure time, we realized that we still hadn't been called. We thought maybe the train was running late. We went to the ticketing counter and we were told that our train was just leaving the station, leaving us. They had already boarded and we just missed our train. We realized that we had been at the wrong platform the entire time, and because of that, we missed all of the announcements for our train. There is nothing worse than being at the wrong place at the right time. I've said this before and I will say it again, but most people do not know that your location is tied to your destiny. We were too far away from where we needed to board, and so we missed our train. I left Maryland about 18 years ago to come to Los Angeles. A lot of people don't know this about my journey, but my original plan was to move to New York City. My best friend at the time and I were supposed to move to New York together, but no matter how hard I tried, no matter how hard I pushed, it just was not working. Now, I will be the first person to tell you that I am not easily deterred by a couple of roadblocks, but these roadblocks, they felt different. Then one day, my mom looked at me and she said, "Why do you want to go to New York anyway? LA is where things are happening. That's where you should be." Now, do not ask me how this woman knew what was going on in LA. She had never been there. She'd actually lived in New York in her 20s and she loved it, but something in her told her to tell me that LA is where I needed to be. When she said those words to me, something clicked. My internal GPS lit up. All of a sudden, I started seeing signs for LA everywhere. Now, the journey to Los Angeles was not an easy one either, but I was paying attention to my internal GPS and it was giving me directions to Los Angeles. Step by step, I was guided to every single thing that I needed in each moment, and 18 years later, here we are. This is where I was meant to be. My path and my destiny have always been tied to this place. Now, I didn't know what the future held at the beginning of this journey, but I was willing to take a huge, massive leap of faith to position myself in the right place. When I think about every single thing that has happened for me here, if I didn't take inspired action to position myself, I never would have been able to connect with those big and small pivotal moments in my life. Positioning yourself for what you want is incredibly critical to the success of your journey. If you are afraid to shift, to move, remember, you are not a tree. You can move, and even trees position themselves. Phototropism is the ability of a plant to reorient the shoot growth towards a direction of light source. Plants will reach if they need to. They will shift. They will reposition themselves to grow towards the light source. If you put a plant on its side, it will literally start shifting, start growing towards the light. It'll curve for its own survival. Now, when I say move, I'm not just talking about moving physically, although sometimes that is the answer. In my journey, I had to move. It was incredibly difficult, but for the sake of my destiny, I had to move. There was no other alternative but to leap, and so I leaped. Positioning could mean applying for that job that your mind is telling you that you're not qualified for, but you apply anyway. You end up connecting with another person at the company who ends up connecting you with another job that you're much better fit for. And just like that, you're in because you positioned yourself. Positioning yourself could mean getting out of the house because your gut keeps nudging you to, and so you go for a walk or you go to the grocery store and you meet the love of your life. So back to the story that I shared at the beginning of this. You have to be on the right platform to catch the right train. You have to position yourself to hear the announcements for your train. You have to position yourself to catch your train. On that trip, my family and I were able to get on another train, thankfully, but there's always a price. There were fees associated with getting new tickets. We also missed our check-in time because we wanted to get there early so we could enjoy the rest of our day. Life has a price too for not listening. The universe will definitely course correct if need be, but there's usually a price. Ultimately, you have to decide if you're willing to pay the price for not moving, for not shifting, for not positioning yourself when you were supposed to. If this message connected with you, resonated with you, comment below. Let me know what you think. If you're seeing one of my messages for the first time, by the way, I'm Wemi. I'm a life coach and a career coach. It is so lovely to meet you. Don't forget to hit that follow button for more doses of inspiration. Have a beautiful day. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.